Many thanks again for rejoining us on the program this morning on ITV. In case you're just joining us, and if you stay with us from 7 a.m. when we kicked off, thank you and thank you. And thank you again for staying with us on TMI Monday with yours sincerely, Sonny Duke Okosun. Okay, 2020 is an election year in Edo State, and as expected, political parties have started strategizing to see how they can politic, and of course emerge victorious in the forthcoming Edo State governorship election. But what is most paramount is the fact that, as is always the case, defections are taking place. And in all of these, what does it hold for the respective political parties in the build up to the 2020 elections, and of course even in the outcome of the elections? That's the thrust of our discussion. I'd like to thank very especially some of our panelists that are live with us here in the studios and those that will be joining us via telephone in the course of the program. Let me thank very especially our good friend Pius Alile. Pius Alile is a political consultant. He's also the spokesperson of Pastor Sagi Isaiah's team. Many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Koso. Thank you very much, viewers. Good morning.
We also have with us in the studio my good friend Fares Okberi. Fares is a former legislative aide at the National Assembly, a member of the PDP, is also a public affairs commentator and political analyst. Fares, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, a former executive director to Edo State government, talking about Prince Greg Ogiogwa, will be joining us via telephone in the course of this conversation. Gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming on TMI Monday. Okay, let me start with Fares. Is it a tradition, or I mean this seeming strategizing, cross-carpeting from party A to party B? This is a tradition, or people are gravitating to where they feel stomach infrastructure will be well taken care of ultimately?
Yeah, you're correct. It's normal to have this kind of atmosphere during election years, so there's nothing wrong. People will always go to where they think that their political interests will be well taken care of. So it's normal to see politicians at this time of the year going from party A to party B. You know, like we all know, our kind of politics in Nigeria is a politics where ideology does not take the center stage. Okay. You know? So it's more about people pursuing mainly their political interests. You know, so it's normal that you see them move from party A to party B, probably because their interests are not well taken care of, or they think they can achieve their ambitions in the other political parties. You know, so it's a game of interest, and we should expect more of it as the election
as we get closer.
As we get closer.
All right, Pius, let me come to you. Isn't this a big problem in our democratic development, because this movement doesn't seem to be ideologically driven?
Oh yes. Let me add a different dimension to this. Basically, we have to consider individual political rights. We appear to undermine. We appear not to look at that. We all have one of the major tenets of democracy is your right, your political right, your political values, and an environment is needed to be created for the exercise of that political right. So when you are joining a political party, you are exercising your political right. If you decide tomorrow and say, look, this political party is not meeting the requirement that I feel that this party should meet, then you are also free to exercise your right. Okay. So freedom of association is a fundamental right entrenched in our 1999 Constitution as amended. So we must understand that individuals have rights, and that right, we are not in a military regime. We are in a a political dispensation. And so, as a result of that, people are free to choose. People are free to move. People are free to support whoever they want to support. And that is why you cannot coerce anybody. You cannot intimidate anybody because it is an individual right. In law, they call it an inalienable right. Political right is an inalienable right that you cannot remove from anybody. Okay. So, and what is happening is legitimate, is proper, is normal in any political environment. Okay. So, as a politician, politics is dynamic. You can change your mind based on circumstances. So when they say that our politics is not ideological driven, yes, as far as I'm concerned, the political right is subsumed into our political ideology. Okay. It's part of our political ideology. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, it is not properly, it is not right to just say that our political parties are not situated, are not ideologically driven. Individuals are the ones that determine this ideology. Apart from the political parties.
Not the political parties. Isn't that a problem?
No, if my political ideology, if, for example, I join a political party, yes, because of course, my ideology aligns with the political ideology of that political party. Yes. And as soon as I join, and as I move closer, as we sojourn together, I discover that the political party have derailed from that political ideology. Yes. So I have a right to exercise that my political right. Okay. So the political party does not operate in isolation. They operate based on the collective ideology of the party members. You understand what I mean? Yeah. And that ideology, when there is a deviation, then there is a problem.
Okay, thank you. Faris, it looks like right now, all the strategizing that we're seeing, all the defection that we're seeing, all the mobilization that we're seeing is all geared towards the political parties' primaries for 2020. For most analysts, the thinking is that the one that will be most thorny within the context of Edo State is for the ruling party, the APC. Do you think that that's true?
Oh, I didn't get a question.
The question is, there's a feeling that the one that will perhaps most problematic is the one for Edo State. Yes. Why do you subscribe to that?
Well, because right now the APC, as you see, is deeply factionalized, and you know the issues within the party and the rumblings and ramblings within the party. So, as expected, they will go through a very turbulent primaries, and then I'm hoping that they come out without violence and all of that. You know, but I'll deviate back a little bit to what we were talking about, because it still boils down to the issue of ideology. Yeah. The reason why there's so much desperation and so much energy in moving from one political platform to another is because we do not have any political ideology. Our politics is not ideologically driven, and that's the fact. You know, whether individual ideology or a political party's ideology. When you form a political party, it's no longer about individual ideologies anymore. It becomes a collective ideology. And right now, we do not, in Nigeria, no political party have a collective political ideology to say, okay, we are this kind of, we run this kind of political ideology or this political ideology. In the West, you have, it's either you are independent, or you are Republican, or you are Labour, or you are conservative. So you have a set of driven ideology that you pursue, that you believe in. So you are that person over the years. Okay. So you don't see defections. Okay. But here you see somebody today in party A, the next week the person is in party B, or the next year the person is in party C. You know, so there's no driven ideology. It's all about where people can achieve their political goals, which is okay. You know, you have every right to pursue your political dreams. You know, but to say it's individual ideologies, I don't think that is very correct. But secondly, I'm also hoping that the primaries, we can all, as Edo people, look at the bigger picture and say, okay, do we want a state that is riddled in crisis, and because whatever political crisis that we have in the state is going to affect governance, is going to affect the people. It's going to look at the House of Assembly, for example, today. You know, that's not. It's not what is happening there. Is not right.
Okay.
You know, you have 24 elected members, and now you have about half of that attending sittings. It's not supposed to be like that. Where a lot of constituencies are not being represented right now. Their voices are not being heard because of political issues. So it's time for us to also look at the bigger picture sometimes and say, okay, well, we have to give and take, and that's what politics is all about. You give and take. So we put that in mind so that we don't, because of primaries, create a state of anarchy within the state.
Now, you said a while ago that the primaries for the APC, you are projecting that it's likely going to be a bit problematic because of the current rumblings in the party.
Yes.
But that should have been an easy ride for the state governor against the background of his pedigree, the impact that he's made. What are your thoughts along those lines? Are you saying that's paling into insignificance in all of these discussions?
No, it's not. You know, but I told you that the party is deeply factionalized.
Yes.
No party that is factionalized the way the APC in Edo is right now would be able to conduct a primaries that is devoid of chaos and problems. Okay. You know, so there are going to be serious problems. There are going to be serious competition because right now you have a lot of bigwigs, party bigwigs, who are political bigwigs who are interested in contesting the 2020 elections, and a lot of them are also in the APC. So, as expected, their individual political ambitions will be tested, and in the process, you know, there will be conflicting interests. And then it can, if not properly managed, it can lead to bigger problems. Okay,
let me get your thoughts of Parsalila. Yes, on this. Yes.
I've lived in abroad for 22 years. I can tell you that defection is part of political process. Okay. You are a journalist. You just go and Google. Umana is of a Nigerian descent, who is an MP in the United Kingdom.
Well, he carried the Nigerian culture there. He carried the Nigerian culture there. He was born there. But he's a Nigerian.
No.
Yes, he's in tune with what's happening here.
Okay. He was born there. Okay. He grew up there. He went to school there, went to primary school, nursery school. He's properly British, irrespective of the skin, the color of the skin.
But you started by saying he's a Nigerian.
Hold on. His parents are from Nigeria. He has defected 3 times in a year. So we also have, let me tell you, you also have other politicians in the United Kingdom, even in America, they defect for one reason or the other. It is part of political process. It's an exercise of your rights. I just said, as a politician, you have your own political ideology. And that political ideology, you must look at the political parties that share the same values. And when you move into that platform and you discover that, oh, something is not right, or the leadership of that party is not piloting the party based on the political ideology of that party, then you have a right to move to another one. And that is a normal political process. It's better that you move than cause violence and cause problem. You understand what I mean? Yeah. So it is a game of wit. It's a game of right. So I don't see anything wrong in that. That is one. Then secondly, on the issue of party primaries, if you talk about the APC, the issues in APC are still evolving. There are a whole lot of things there that are evolving every day. I can tell you something will happen tomorrow that have not happened before. So it just keeps evolving. So we cannot sit down here now and begin to say that, oh, APC primaries will be crisis ridden and that is going to be full of problems. It's still evolving. And let's see how it evolves and how the issues that are currently there, how they are going to be resolved. I very much believe that there will be primaries, and I believe that it will be primaries that will be devoid of rancor. It will be a primary that will be devoid of issues, because we are still evolving. There is no political party that don't have issues. Even the PDP also have their own issues as well. Also have their own issues. So that does people, groups have interest. And that is what makes and that is why every party have its mechanism that they've put subject that have been put in place. So if you follow that mechanism, then there is no problem. Yes, there is bound to be conflict. That is politics. Politics is about resolution of conflict. I can assure you that the APC will conduct their primaries evolution of events that will issues that we are that we are looking and we are saying, oh, they might cause a huge problem. It is normal. These things are normal political process, and I very much solution to it.
Okay, if you just join us, Ray, the journey so far on the road to, particularly as political parties strategize for the primaries. Mobilizations are ongoing, defections, and many more. 20. We're linking up now with Prince Greg Ogiogwa, who will be talking with us from Lagos this morning. Well, that's the essence of technology. Things pretty easier and connect us in such a very unique way for us to have a very, very meaningful conversation. Prince Greg Ogiogwa will be joining us live in a moment. Prince, good morning. Thanks for joining us on TMI.
Good morning, Sonny Duke. It's good to be with you once more.
Okay. Prince, we're looking at a wide range of issues in the build up to the 2020 Edo State governorship election. One of the things coming forth is the party primaries. As we are aware, a whole lot of people are interested, particularly on the platform of the APC. What do you make of this?
Well, you see, it's a bit unfortunate that they're looking at it from that perspective, because Edo State has never had the convention. It's never had the convention of primaries during the second term.
Okay.
We've always had consensus as our own method of. No governor in Edo State's political history has ever had to do primaries for a second term. Professor Ambusali in 2003 to Chief Lucky Gwinedio in 2000 and I think it was 2000. No, I'm sorry, Ambusali in 1983.
Okay.
1983.
Okay.
To Lucky Gwinedio in 2003, and to Adams Oshomole in 2012.
Yeah.
So there's never really been. We've never had that convention, or we've never had that precedent of our governors having to do primaries for a second term. So I don't see any reason why we have to why we would have to do that now. In our own opinion, we who know how the APC started and how it stands, Governor Obaseki is a consensus candidate. Anybody who don't like it will have to, negotiate around that.
Okay.
But he's our consensus candidate. That is where we stand.
You're speaking for yourself, Prince Greg. That's what it is.
No, it's not a matter of me speaking for myself. It's a matter of that I just gave you historical precedence.
Okay.
So I'm speaking from a perspective.
Okay. Now you just hold the line, Prince. Can you hold the lines? Yeah. Yes. Let me get to Pius Salila. Pius Salila is here, by the way.
Yes. The APC constitution is clear.
Yeah.
When you are not able to build a consensus, then you go for primaries.
Okay.
I agree with him that there has been a convention. Convention is not law. Convention is not law at all. The APC constitution is clear. The guidelines are clear.
Okay.
That when you are able to have a place where everybody agrees or majority agrees, then but in Edo State, we are saying that Governor Obaseki is not our consensus candidate. We are saying that Governor Obaseki cannot lock down the political space and exclude other persons. That's what we are saying, that there must be primaries, because he has not been accepted of the party people. If there is consensus, then there is no problem. But we are saying now that there is no consensus. We want primaries. And I think the national leadership of the party, they are looking at that. And they are saying, yes, they are agreeing with that, because, of course, Governor Obaseki has created a division in his party. He created this division. You see, he didn't accord the party members, especially the leadership of the party in the state, he did not accord them their due respect.
Okay.
And that is why you are seeing these agitations.
Okay.
Governor Obaseki cannot say that I am the consensus candidate. You cannot conduct primaries for yourself. You cannot. When I was talking, when you were talking, I kept quiet.
Prince, just hold it. Just be calm. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, Pius. Go ahead.
When you were talking, I kept quiet. I beg you to listen. Governor Obaseki cannot conduct primaries for himself. He cannot tell us, the party people, and say, look, I am not negotiable. My position is not negotiable. He can't say that. The mandate belongs to the party members. And the party members are saying, no, we have to conduct. He is talking from a factionalized point of view.
Okay, let me pause you there.
The point I'm making is that
you're also talking from your own faction.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That shows
yes.
that. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
It means
yes.
there is no agreement.
Okay, so
it is only when there is a consensus.
Yes.
And that is what the party
let me pause you there,
Pius.
Let me pause you there. Now, Prince, I'd like to get your thoughts on this, which is that the consensus thing is from a factionalized perspective. Isn't that a reflection of the problem in the party that needs to be addressed first and foremost?
No, the thing about it is that APC is one, but you have EPM, which is not APC, and EPM has their own agenda. So they come with their own agenda, and then they claim that EPM is APC. There's a total dislocation of ideas there. Complete. EPM is not APC. So they keep making that mistake. A whole lot of them who moved over from PDP and other parties moved into EPM, not APC. And they keep thinking that because they're in EPM, that they're not in APC. It doesn't work that way. So they can sit there and have their own political fantasies, but it doesn't change reality.
Okay.
When they say consensus, that this consensus is amongst the stakeholders of the party, which is EP. It doesn't include EPM. EPM people have no say in who emerges as a consensus candidate. So if they are in EPM and they are criticizing that they are members of APC and therefore they have a say, but that stakeholders in APC, they're not thinking straight.
Okay. All right. Prince Ogiogwa, I mean, when you say they're not thinking straight, that's a bit on the high side. I think we need to tone down the language, so that we can have a more meaningful conversation. All right. Let me just hold the line. Just hold the line for a moment, Prince. Could you hold the line? Faraz, you've been listening. Yeah. I'm sure you were smiling when you had this, conversation going on. It's like, well, this is what I said was going to happen. Yeah. It's already happening in the studio now. We're going to see more of this. That's a point you're making.
Yes, it's as expected. We're going to see more of this. And
why, in your opinion, do you think that this is not going to be an easy ride for the incumbent governor, in spite of what some have? I mean, they've nicknamed him as we can see governor and a whole lot of that. In terms of impacts made. Why do you think this is not going to be an easy ride for him?
Well, it's not going to be an easy ride for anybody. Not just about Governor Obaseki. Okay. It's not going to be an easy ride for anybody. And first of all, I said here before that the majority of the governor's opposition are coming from within his party, and particularly the group called EPM. Okay. But where they lost it. That's the EPM faction of that group, is they've so much personalized the struggle to issues of, the governor didn't take care of me. The governor worked for him, I spent money. He didn't give me job. The governor did not, so nobody is driving the narrative of, did the governor build roads? Did he renovate schools? Did he, so it became personal issues. And when it was so personal, a lot of people started to lose interest in their message. That's on one side, Then also, a lot of them also accused the governor, of not being a party man, so to speak. And when you ask what is the meaning of being party man, is that there are particularly things that a governor should give to party people and all of that, which, I mean, for someone like me, is very alien to me, because I am kind of a progressive politician, and I think more of the people than personal interest. Okay. So if a struggle is about personal interest, or about how the governor stopped someone who was collecting revenue from Oba Market, from collecting revenue and extorting the people, then obviously he will get more support from the people on that side. So I advised when I was here before that those who are opposition to the governor should go back home and redefine their message, because when your message is about how you are not taken care of, how it's not about infrastructure, it's not about education, it's not about healthcare, it's not about the interest of the people, then that message will not resonate properly.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. All right, perhaps.
Yeah, I think he has a very wrong misconception.
Yeah, because you mentioned something in that direction a while ago.
He has a very wrong misconception of the struggle of EPM, now defunct. There is no EPM anymore.
Okay.
Maybe himself, he lacks understanding of the position of EPM as of today. EPM doesn't exist anymore. They had an agenda, and they have succeeded in their struggle. Honorable Henry Dahabo was here to argue the case for EPM. He didn't talk about stomach infrastructure. He talked about the agenda that was set for the governor. They are the ones that brought the governor out. They are the ones that campaigned. You didn't work for the governor. Maybe you didn't even vote for the governor. They are the ones that did the hard work. They are the ones that voted for the governor, and they had an agenda. He said you want to create 200,000 jobs. Where are the jobs? Dahabo was here. He highlighted all the issues. All the projects abandoned, all the projects started by Comrade, they have all been abandoned. These are development issues that they highlighted. Why did you abandon Central Hospital? Why did you abandon Edo Water Storm Project? Why did you abandon all these legendary projects started by Comrade? These are some of the issues that they highlighted. But unfortunately, when people want to do mischief, they begin to look at the personal side of it. Honorable Henry Dahabo was here. Henry Dahabo was here to marshal his point. Okay. And most of what Honorable Henry Dahabo highlighted, they were all development issues. Roads, how many roads has he done? Absolutely nothing. We are saying that considering the agenda set for this present governor in terms of development agenda, this governor has not met up to expectation, and that is the issue. It's not necessarily how much can you share how much can you share to everybody. That is not the issue at all. It has nothing to do with that. Then you also realize that we also came here to say that the aspersion being cast at party leadership at the very beginning, at the very inception of this administration. If you don't have anything to give to people, don't give them respect. You cannot expect me, after working for you in 2016, you will be casting aspersion at me, insulting me, calling me thief for no reason. And you are coming back to meet the same me, Pius Alile, to come and work for you in 2020. That is impossible. Okay. And that is the political right I keep talking about. Okay. We all have right. When I supported him in 2016, I voted for him, I worked for him. I didn't go to him to give me money. I spent my money. It's on record. I did not go to him, give me money. No. Okay. But we had an agenda that you must follow through all Comrade Adams Oshomele's project. And that is what is happening in Lagos. That is what we wanted to replicate in Edo State. Okay. And that is not the case at the moment. Okay. And these are some of the fundamental issues. Let me come to him as well. There is nothing like EPM. We now have APC, and the APC is one. You understand? And we are saying that we have a stake. We are all stakeholders. And we are saying that there must be a primary. You understand? Okay, and let me also tell you, you must always look at the guidelines, the constitution. Where there is no consensus, you go for primaries. And that is the position. There is nothing wrong with that.
Prince Greg Ogiogwa still live with us from Lagos this morning on TMI. Prince, many thanks for staying with us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pastor Leader raised key issues, particularly as it relates to the reasons advanced by the then EPM, which he says has ceased to exist at the moment, that they were purely on development issue, that the governor didn't follow through the agenda and the templates that were set for his government, and particularly against the background of the fact that right from the beginning, he started calling party leaders names. This was where all the challenges started, which in his opinion, he didn't make efforts to address. Do you subscribe to some of these things that he has said, or all of them?
I don't subscribe to any one of them, because if you look at the parameters that were set for development, those parameters have been met. There was a reason that Governor Obaseki was made the candidate of APC at that time. There was a particular reason. And one of those reasons was the ability to keep the ship of states afloat during tomorrow. We were going through a recession at that time, and we needed a governor that was going to be able to find the resources to pay salaries, to continue to pay salaries. At that time, we were even paying above the minimum, and we needed somebody who would continue to be able to pay the contractors, to be able to pay pensions and gratuities. and then to be able to continue to develop the state, as it were, to build into our non-IGR resource-based areas like agriculture, and to continue the growth into healthcare.
Okay.
Those were the reasons that they chose Governor Godwin Obaseki above the others. Those reasons have not changed. Those reasons haven't changed at all. Anybody who says that you've seen any considerable improvements and considerable advancements in those areas, it's just being partisanly parochial, you know. People will look for reasons. They will give a dog a bad name in order to hang it in the first instance. And so you hear people say that he hasn't done anything, and he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. Yeah. You know, the truth of the matter is there's nothing that he has not done that you can say that is negligible. It's just because there's nothing you're going to say to some people. You can't persuade them, even if you build a brand new stadium in front of them, like what's the Governor of Obaseki has done. You say he hasn't done anything.
Okay, let me again pause you there, Prince Greg Ogiwa, and come to Fares. You said a while ago that the primary is not going to be easy for anyone, whether the governor or those who are angling to be there. The analogy that Prince Greg gave was that there's been a convention, right from the Professor Ambrose Ali of blessed memory days down to today. It looks like that convention is going to be broken now by reason of the factionalization of the party. What do you make of this? Is there any way out ultimately?
Well, I don't think there's any way out anymore. You know, the crisis within the APC has gotten to crescendo. It goes in a state where I don't think they can sit down in one table and get a consensus candidate anymore. So it has to be settled at the field. You know, but you know, on the other hand, I still insist that it will not be easy for anybody. Okay. I mean, for the governor, for anybody. Okay. And it's like that sometimes, you know, sometimes politics, you have to go through the hard way. Sometimes it's not all about the easy way. You have to be able to prove to the people that, you know, that you deserve their trust and their mandates. And then after that, even the elections also wouldn't be an easy ride for anybody as well. You know, you still have to go to the field and campaign, talk to the electorate, and also prove to them that you deserve their mandates. So it's going to be a tough ride, you know. But one thing that we should all know, we as politicians should all know, that, you know, that the state should be our primary focus. Absolutely. We should always think about the success of the states and think about the future of Edo State. You know, so whatever we do in playing politics, in angling ourselves at one direction or the other, in the tussle of the leadership of who will lead the state in the next 4 years, we should also have in mind that we don't want to leave a state that is crisis-ridden. You know, so we have to think about that. We also have to think that whatever we are fighting for right now, it should be to better the lot of our people. Absolutely. We have a huge infrastructural deficit in Edo State, very huge, that we have to cut down. You understand? Yes, you know, we have to realize that this should be the aim. It's not about taking care of people who are only aggrieved. We have to think about the majority of the people. The greater majority of the people. Yes, the greater majority of the people.
Let me get I don't understand when Prince said some of us are. I want to say, if the governor has performed as they claim, why not subject yourself to primaries? Why are you afraid? If you know that you have performed, honestly speaking, that you have performed, subject yourself to primaries. Why are you afraid? Or go to another party and contest this election. You do the, let's see if you know that, yes, because that is what they keep saying. That we are saying he has not performed. Personally, I say he has not performed. And I will say it again, put a gun in my head, he has not performed. And that is my opinion.
Sorry to ask, as the governor said he's afraid of primaries.
No, they are saying, Prince just said, I'm reacting to what Prince said.
Prince said he's a consensus candidate.
He's a consensus, you were here when he said it.
But he said the governor is afraid of primaries. I'm asking if the governor has come out and said, I'm afraid of primaries.
No. I am reacting. I want you to listen. I'm reacting to what Prince said. That he's a candidate. He's a consensus candidate. Which means they have taken a decision on that. But we are saying, no, he's not. he must subject himself to primaries.
Okay.
If he's so sure that he has performed, he has satisfied the Edo people, he has done very well for the party, then fine. Subject yourself to primaries. Why are they afraid of that? I don't see any issues with that.
Okay.
A good governor should not be afraid of competition because this is public position. It is it's nobody's right. It is a public position, and the mandate is given to you by your party and by the people. There are two organs that you must fulfill the requirement.
Yes.
Your party, that is one, and the people.
Okay.
You see, and when people are saying that, the party must perform its legitimate
the feelings
role.
on the street, the feelings on the street gives conviction that there is an acceptability of performance.
What feeling?
Yes. I'm asking you.
I am from the street.
I'm asking you.
Mr. Kosu, I am from the street.
Okay.
So when you are talking about masses, I am masses. I am an epitome of masses. So when you are talking about the feeling of the people,
yes.
I am part of the feeling. I am part of the people.
Okay.
My people.
Yes.
My people are part of the people.
Let me get
sometimes they want to create this class distinction. There's nothing like that.
Let me get Prince Greg to react to some of the things that you raised. Yes, Prince. Two key components in this election: the political parties and then the people. The hurdle of the political party, that is leadership in the political parties, we must get over that. That must be overcome before we get to the people in terms of the electoral, the actual voting. What is your assessment of the acceptability of these two categories of people in this election?
Let's start with the people, because
start with the political party, because that seems to be most important.
Yes, like you said, the people come first. Let's start with the people.
Okay, all right.
I think it is the will of the people that the political party should reflect.
Okay.
The political party should reflect the will of the people. Should manifest what the yearnings and aspirations of the people.
Okay.
Now, do agree with me, like you said, you led this question into being that there is a general acceptability on the streets. On the street, there is a general acceptability of the governor that he has performed, and therefore the party should reflect that, and that's what the party reflects. Now, like you see, like I emphasized before, EPM is not APC. You see, EPM is not APC. So, whether they dissolve themselves into some sort of amoebic opposition and they think that they're the stakeholders in APC. You have been a political commentator for years. And so, you know the real stakeholders in APC. So, when the people just emerge from nowhere and come and claim that they are the stakeholders of APC because they are trying to prove a political point, they're losing focus on what the purpose of politics is about, which is the good of the people, of the majority and the generality of the people. And the fact, the truth of the matter is, they are all complaining the same thing. Oh, the governor didn't recognize them. The governor called them names. So what? So what? Is that what politics is about? Politics is about, are we able to develop our neighborhoods so that they're economically viable, such that they're safe for our residents, such that our children can go to school in nice, clean environment, so that you have nice, clean health facilities.
Okay.
The governor abandoned a whole lot of projects. For example, the stormwater project was a 15-year project. 15-year project. Part of that project has been abandoned. In case they don't understand, you have to ask questions. Instead of has been abandoned.
Okay. All right. We're just on the verge of calling it a wrap. We'll talk a bit more about the APC. Does it mean that with the situation now, this will be an easy ride for the PDP in Edo State, Fares?
Well, it may be. It's very well may be. I can give you instances. Before the primaries in Zamfara State, we saw the factions in Zamfara State. None of them were ready to concede to each other, and then they went into the primaries with the factions. In fact, it was so bad that they couldn't even conduct. Eventually, they ended up having no candidates in Zamfara State. Then you go to River State. You saw what happened. There was was a very deep fashion within the Minister of Transportation and the sitting senator. The fight was so fierce that at the end of the day, they ended up having no candidates, you know. So, I'm not saying that the PDP should solely depend on that, you know, but right now, what we are seeing in those states, you know, it's not for the APC in terms of the deep fashions. I heard there's a new fashion that just emerged within the APC again, making it 4 different factions. And as the elections come closer, the primaries come closer, it looks like there's still going to be more factions. And as always, the benefiting parties will be those on the opposition parties who are just on the sidelines watching.
Okay.
You never can tell.
Let me tell you, Mr. Okosu, there is no faction, personally speaking. It is just a case of a governor who wants to impose himself on the party. It's as simple as that. A governor don't want to subject himself to the party rules and rudiments. This is not the first time it's happening in APC. In Lagos, it happened. When they couldn't get an agreement, a consensus, they told Abode, you primaries. It's as simple as that. There's no faction. If you want to impose yourself and say, yes, there is no space for order, then that is where the problem is.
Would you say that the PDP is like
no.
beneficiary?
Let me tell you, PDP has been the major casualty of this political process and this political evolution in APC. Recently, Isaiah Yamu that have over 40% of the structure of PDP moved into APC, and that completely depleted PDP. And that is not last a few days here, about 2 days ago, when Alhaji Abubakar Momo, the PDP leader in Edo North, also moved with all his followers running into thousands. They also moved into APC.
No, they didn't move into APC.
Hold on.
They moved into EPN.
Hold on. You are. I don't know which one you are talking for. I am telling you that they moved into APC, All Progressive Congress, and they were received by the national chairman of the party, and the Muslim-led state executive received. Who suspended? Look, nobody, Okosu, that Adas Oshiomhole is still functioning as the national chairman of APC. You know that. Let us not go there at all.
No,
you are just politically being delusional.
No.
To say that the APC national chairman, that APC chairman by law is which law? Yeah, by law. For which law? No, for which law? By law. Delusional. You know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you. Very ignorant. He doesn't know what the Constitution says. A man that was elected by delegates across the country. You are saying that man has been removed by one delegate in the world. The process. They went to court, and they went to court to get an expected motion, and it didn't work. You know that. Let me tell you, it's the one that is. When you use the word, this is a major casualty. Let me tell you, the PDP has been, and I have evidence, and I'm giving the evidence. All you need to do is to listen. And I confirm the evidence. Listen. The PDP in this political evolution of APC. Yes, ordinarily, you would have thought that, oh yes, they should be the beneficiary. No, not at all. They have not been an opposition party. They've not played the role. Let me tell you. And I have evidence. I said, Isaiah Yamu that contested, Alhaji Abubakar Momo, the leader of PDP in Edo North, has moved a few weeks' time. More are coming. You understand? Okay. Politics is a game of numbers. Absolutely. Yeah, so absolutely. I have not seen where APC members moved to PDP. I'm talking about today. Okay. I'm talking about today. I'm giving you evidence.
What I see here is no evidence.
It's no evidence.
Nobody should promote his ignorance of the law as fact. You understand? Nobody should promote his ignorance of the law. My brother here is being ignorant of the facts on the ground. The facts on the ground is that the national chairman is suspended by law from the world. Okay. He's suspended and he cannot be receiving members. You can't be suspended and still be receiving members. Right now...
So those received now, what do you make of them?
Well, I don't know if anybody has been received. Okay. Because by law, by law, the national chairman is suspended. You can't be suspended as receiving members.
Okay, let me get
nobody has been received.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned.
Prince Greg Kukogwa, your final take. Looking at the major beneficiaries of this crisis rocking the APC in Edo State. Hello, Prince.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I want to get your thoughts. Beneficiaries. Yeah, we cannot take away the fact that there is a crisis in the APC, and if this goes on and on till the election, there are likely going to be political parties that will benefit. We've seen that in Zamfara State. We've seen that in Rivers State. We saw that in Imo State, except that recently there was a reversal by the Supreme Court. Yeah.
Well, I believe that the major beneficiaries will be the people, because the people will be able to see who the real progressives are in this matter.
Okay.
And beginning to see them. And like my brother there just said, a lot of the people who claim that they just come into the APC, I'm not in the APC. They went into the EPM, and the truth
is the EPM a political party, Prince?
No, it's a political movement.
Okay.
It's a political movement. They're not APC.
What about USA?
Recognized by the APC. So if they were recognized by the suspended national chairman, then that's their own business. But as for the people of Edo State and these major real stakeholders of the real APC, Godwin Obaseki is a consensus candidate, and that's how we're moving on, following our convention. And we believe that with that in mind, we can continue with the developmental agenda as it has been done, as we have been doing, and forget the distractions of EPM and their own agenda.
Okay. All right, Prince, let me thank you for joining us live from Lagos on TMI. We truly appreciate. Where's Prince Greg Ogugwa, former executive director on media to the social media to the state government, also key component of the present government, and just giving us some views on some of the key issues raised in the course of this conversation.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Fares, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay.